All right, negative 15 minus 6? I don't think it does. Oh, I'm sorry, plus 6, that's why. You're right, it would say negative 21. All right, so Callie, what operation do I have here?
Subtraction.
How do I undo subtraction?
Addition.
So I'm going to add what to both sides?
6.
Awesome. So you've got D equals negative 9. To check, I plug negative 9 in. And it does indeed check. Now, today's lesson is no different. If you can do this, you can do what we're doing today. So the first example we're going to write down for solving inequalities through addition and subtraction is x plus 6 is less than 10. X plus 6 is less than 10. Zoom out a little bit. What is the only thing, if I look at this review problem up here and this inequality, raise your hand if you can figure out what the one difference is between those two things. The one difference. Haley, what is it? All right, this has an equal sign. This has an inequality symbol. The way that you solve this is the exact same as how you would solve the equation. But instead of an equal sign, you have an inequality symbol. That's it. So Evan, what operation do I have in example 1? I have addition. How do I undo that addition? Subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So I get x. Now instead of equals, I put this same symbol facing the same direction. Tyler, are you writing this down, buddy?
Yeah.
And 10 minus 6 is 4. So the answer to my inequality is x is less than 4. Now the answers to equations and inequalities are what sets them apart. My answer, if I have an equation like in this first review problem, negative 16 plus 4 is going to equal exactly negative 12. That's what that means. What this means is if I plug in any number that is smaller than 4, I will get a number that is smaller than 10. That makes a true inequality. So let's say I plugged in the number 3, because that's smaller than 4, right? 3 plus 6 is 9. Is 9 less than 10? Yes or no? Yeah, it is. What if I plugged in 0? 0 is less than 4. What's 0 plus 6?
0.
Is 6 less than 10?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay? Now this is where the tricky part about this comes into play. I need to check my answer.
Wait.
Yes?
The inequality, it says x equal, oh, no, never mind. All right.
Okay. When I check my equations, I usually plug in the number that I get for my answer. What's the problem with plugging in 4 to this inequality? I see a lot of hands. I haven't called on anybody yet. Brady, what do you think, buddy?
Because if you just track it with 4, then it's going to equal 10.
Right, and 10 is not less than 10, right?
10 is the same as 10.
Right, that doesn't fit that statement, which would make it untrue. So what we need to plug in is some number, any number, that is smaller than 4. So guess what? Samantha's check may differ from Isaiah's. Because Samantha might use 3, Isaiah might use 0. That's okay, as long as it fits this description. With me so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I'm going to plug in 2, because 2 is less than 4. So 2 plus 6 is less than 10. 8 is less than 10. Is this a true statement? Is 10 bigger than 8?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So that checks my answer is correct. Now, there's going to be one more layer to this, and I think you guys can handle me adding it in now. Not always. There's sometimes this extra layer. Sometimes they'll say solve and check. If the directions say solve and check, you're done. Sometimes the directions say solve, check, and graph your solution. Okay, so all you would do is this. I make my number line. Solve, check, and now I graph. So I make my number line, I put 4 in the middle, 5, 6, 3, and 2. So I'll give you a second to make your number line. Should there be an open or a closed circle on the number 4, everyone? It would be
Open.
It would be open. Okay, there's no line underneath, so it is open. Now here's my question. Is x bigger or smaller than 4?
Smaller.
X is smaller than 4. So, what numbers are smaller than 4?
Anything blue.
Anything
left of
to
four.
the left. So my arrow goes to the left. Always find your variable. Excuse me. When you have an inequality, find your variable. Figure out if it's bigger than or smaller than, and whatever the variable is, that's the way your arrow points. Okay? Let's try another one, shall we? Would we feel confident enough if I gave you an example to try to solve it at least?
I want to try.
Okay. So here's example 2.
Do you want us to graph it?
No, right now all I want us to do is solve this first. So your first direction is to solve this inequality. X minus 5 is bigger than 12. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I want you to see if we can figure out what X is bigger than.
Check it.
Sure, why don't you go ahead and check it too. Yep, good idea. And I'll start the timer. It's not. It says some number minus 5 is bigger than 12. It's not 5 is bigger than 12.
So anything that's lower than, what does this mean? What is it? Is X bigger or smaller than 17? What number is bigger? I think it's bigger than 17. So any number is bigger than 17. Right?
All right. Let's take a look up here. Not bad, kids. Not bad. So, So, Hannah asked, what did you do to both sides here?
I added 5.
Added 5 to both sides. So I get X is bigger than 17. Now again, when you go to check or when you go to graph, go look at your variable. I'm going to look at how my variable relates to this 17. So when I check, Gabe, is this X bigger or smaller than 17?
Bigger.
It's bigger. The alligator's eating the X, so it's bigger. So that means I need to pick a number bigger than 17. Can you give me another bigger than 17?
30.
Sure, 30. 30 minus 5 needs to be bigger than 12. So 25 is greater than 12. That checks. That's a true statement. Now, do you want me to graph this or do you want to try?
I want to try.
All right, how about I will set this up for you, the graph. 17, 18, 19, 16, 15. I'll give you 20 seconds to graph. You're graphing the solution, remember? This X in the 17, that's what you are graphing. Think about open or closed circle. Based on the X, which way your arrow would go. Good. right or to the left?
They go to the right.
Okay. One more thing we need to talk about, boys and girls, is this. What happens, actually we're going to combine two evils here.
2 evils.
15
Not
x
so good.
plus 4. Now, we are very, very good when our variable is on the left-hand side and it comes first. We have a tendency to struggle when the variable is second. So we need to talk about that. And then what we do. Now, I have no doubt that we could solve this problem. So I'm just going to walk you through just the solution of it. So subtract 4 from both sides. So we get 11 is less than or equal to x.
Whoa.
Now this is where people get themselves into trouble when they check. Bless you. We think, okay, my x isn't first now. It's not quite as obvious if it's bigger or smaller. So your job when you check, find the x. Find your variable. Is this x bigger or smaller than 11? Okay, don't answer right now. Let's not answer. Think about it for the next 10 seconds. Is x bigger or smaller than 11? So think about it, one word response, bigger or smaller, and be able to defend your answer. Okay, what do we think? Bigger or smaller, everyone? It's
Bigger.
bigger. Why is it bigger? Shh, shh. Raise your hand if you could tell me why it's bigger. Eric, why is it bigger?
It could be bigger or equal to because of the way the sign is working.
Yes. What does the alligator always eat? The bigger number. What is the alligator eating here?
The bigger number.
Which is x. So x is bigger. So I need to pick a bigger number than 11 to fill in. So I'm going to, now, let me ask you this. I'm going to pick a number bigger than 11. Could I put 11 back into my check here?
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can. Why? What does this, raise your hand if you can tell me what this inequality symbol has that I could plug in. Anna, what do you think?
You could plug in 11 because the line underneath is more than or equal to.
Bingo. This line underneath says x is greater than or equal to 11. So if you have the line underneath, you can plug this number in. So I've got 15 is less than or equal to 11 plus 4. 15 is not less than 15, but it fits the or equal to clause. If there was a clause.
I didn't even know you were recording.
Okay? So if I graph, here's 11, 12, 13. Oh, you know what? Okay, I've drawn the stick. Remember, we all have to make sure that we earn it as a class,
I
too.
don't like that look on your face. There must be someone bad.
So, open or close circle on 11.
Closed.
Everyone, we all need to participate, otherwise this doesn't fly. Closed on 11. Okay, we wanted to pick a number bigger than 11, so our arrow goes to the right.
Yep.
Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. If you don't turn any pages, flip the packet over. And you will notice there are a couple exercises. Here's what I'd like for us to do. I want you to cross off just one line below here so that it will separate our work from our check. Okay, what I'd like for you to do is number 1 and number 3, solve and check your inequality. And I would also like for us to do number 8. We're going to need to solve, check, and graph. So I'll put about 2 minutes on the timer.
2 minutes for all
2 minutes for all 3. and 2, you're only solving and checking. Keep working. I'll get up there in a second. You don't need an equation for solve, or you don't need a graph for solve. That is only for your answer.
I know, I just did solve up here, like I did the one and then, so like.
Right, but I think the arrows in the wrong direction. Because there's no answer. No, your answer should be in a form like this. Your answer should look like this. You've got an inequality for your answer. That's your check. Your answer should have a variable, an inequality symbol, and a number. All right, let's check these out. Great. All right. So number 1, we should add 4 to both sides. So t is bigger than 6. So to check, you would plug in any number bigger than 6. Yes, Tyler?
I said 7.
That would be a great number to plug in for a check, absolutely. For number 3, okay, we're going to add 7 to both sides. So r is bigger than 15. So again, to check, you should have plugged in any number bigger than 15. Evan, you checking these?
Yeah.
It's really hard if you're not looking at your paper. The last one, negative 11 is less than or equal to d minus 3. I have to add 3 to both sides. Remember, you still need an answer. Oops. So it should be d is greater than or equal to negative 8. So it's a closed circle on negative 8. Now this is where people tend to get tripped up here. If I zoom in a little more, you're going to notice 9 and 10 seem bigger than negative 8, right?
Yeah.
Negative 9 and 10 seem bigger, but they are not. Remember, the further negative you go, the smaller the number it is. So all of the numbers that are bigger than negative 8 are going to be to the right. So your arrow should be to the right. Fist of 4, how'd we do?
Great.
Fist of 4, let's see, I should see, what, 24 hands, 23 hands?